because not everybody has this stuff figured out, okay? That's actually the tea. What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bex, BEX, and in this week's video we're going to be introducing the first of the law school series. I mentioned in the past two videos that I was going to begin this video last week, but then I didn't because I felt like I had to address something a little bit more important, and then I decided that this week was going to be the week where we would start the videos. This law school series is really only going to include about 3 videos to 4 videos max. I do believe that these videos would be helpful to a lot of people who are trying to make a decision on law school in the middle of a pandemic and who want to know if applying to law school is even worth it. Now granted, I'm not in law school yet, so I actually can't speak to whether or not it's going to be worth it in the end. I just felt like this video would be useful to some people. So if you want to know about my process applying to law school and see if it relates to you in any way, keep watching and stay tuned for the rest of the videos. Go ahead and subscribe right now so that you don't miss the rest of the videos. Just do it. Just subscribe. Then you'll never miss a video. All right, let's get into it. This specific video is just going to be about the process I took applying to school from the end of graduation last year until now. So I'm going to begin with a brief undergraduate experience that I had to explain to you why I even chose law school in the first place. I kind of went into school with this idea that I would like to see myself be a lawyer, but my school did not have a pre-law advisory track. We had pre-law advisors, but we didn't have a pre-law major. There was nothing specific to people who wanted to go into law school. I chose political science as my major because it's just assumed that it helps you get into law school. Now they tell you, they didn't tell me this until I think the end of my sophomore year, which is when you are supposed to declare your major, but they eventually decided to tell me that it doesn't matter what major you choose because people from all sorts of majors can get you into law school. There's no one specific way that you have to get in. So that right there at the end, after I declared yeah, it's political science because I'm gonna be a lawyer and I'm gonna be, I'm not special. I thought I was doing the right thing. You can major in anything you want to major in and get into law school. So that's that. Another thing that I did though to kind of really make sure that law school was going to be something that I wanted to get into was by taking undergraduate courses that had the word law in it. So if there was an undergraduate course with law, I tried to take one at least every year that I was in undergrad. So I took an elements of law class, I took a constitutional law class, I took an international law class. Most of them I don't think would have given me the exact feel of what a law school class was going to be like, but I do think that the content was similar and it helped me get a taste of the intensity with which I was going to need to study and be involved in law school, which is why I've declared I do not want to be an international lawyer, and I'm just going to leave it at that. So that was the extent of my undergraduate experience in regards to what I did to prepare to go and apply for law school. Everything I did in undergrad was not to apply to law school or get into law school. It wasn't every decision I made was okay, I'm going to be in this club because I know it's going to help me get into law school, or I'm going to be involved on this project because I think that law schools will like to see this on my resume. I really just did what I did because it was stuff that I wanted to do. There were things that I felt passionate about. The volunteering experience I did was not so that I could put it on my resume. I was a student athlete. I didn't do that so that I could get into law school. That whole process did not begin for me until after graduating undergrad. I had tried to just like finish undergrad and just get out of there in one piece, and then I was going to approach my law school process when the time came. So fast forward to August, which is when I began my application process, basically starting with studying for the LSAT. I took the summer to frolic around Europe, so we're just not even going to speak on June and July. We're just going to go straight to the end of August, and that's when I really decided, hey, me, it's probably time to buckle down and study for this LSAT thing, because you know you're running out of time. So I started at the end of August, and I decided I was going to do like a self-paced, self-taught LSAT class, like an app on my phone called LSAT Max, which I can link down below. It was actually a very good class. I just wish I had used it a little bit better, and I wish that it was incorporated with in-person classes, but we'll speak on that in another video. I was also working at the time as a waitress, and I wanted to save money, and waitressing hours are long hours. Basically, I did not want to sacrifice work hours for in-person classes. I wanted to be able to have my LSAT work around my LSAT studying schedule to work around my work schedule. That's the approach I took, and the reason for that was because I wanted to save enough money to make it to Australia at the end of the year. And there's that. And there's where my priorities lie. So if we have different priorities and you're watching this video, you might just want to X out. I wanted to see the world, and I wanted to get into law school. So those were like, to me, on the same level. I think that a lot of people would probably say, maybe I should have reevaluated and not have put them on the same level, but I did because I wanted to make the most out of my gap year. I was like, this is the first time that I've ever gone this long without having been in school. So I wanted to make use of it, and I did. I'm not going to speak on the whole studying process. Let's just say fast forward to December, I take the LSAT, I get a very, very average score. I was not very happy with it, but because it was my first one, I was like, you know what, okay. I was mainly unhappy with it because I thought I was going to be able to be a one and done. I thought I was going to just get like a solid score, not like a 170 something or anything like that. I just thought, let's just aim for like high 160s, right? This is this is me thinking. Let's just aim for like high 160s, and you can just be a one and done, and then you can go to Australia and not have to think about the LSAT again and just apply to schools and be done with it. Well, honey, that's just not how life works. Life has never worked that way. Life will never work that way. And it just takes an experience like that to humble you, to ground you, center you, and make you remember that the universe does not work for you that way. And I realized that I was probably going to have to take the LSAT again just to see if I could improve my score at least, okay? I wasn't guaranteed that I was going to be able to like increase it by a lot, but I was like, let me just take it once more, because I really shouldn't just settle for this one exam. Like, what if I do improve? So I ended up taking another LSAT in January in Sydney, Australia. The experience of the actual LSAT testing was not bad at all. It was more so just the fact that I didn't improve. I got the same exact score. At this point, it's the beginning of February, and in the meantime, from when I had taken it in Sydney to when I had gotten my score back, and I'm still in Australia at this point, I just went on ahead and was contacting my recommendation letter writers. I was drafting my personal statement. I was kind of like on this track of like, I'm gonna apply to law school. But then I get that score back, again, the second score, and I had a breakdown. I was like, it's over. I can't apply to law school with this average score. There's no way I'm gonna get in, because whenever I was looking at schools that I was gonna be applying to, I was looking at their median score, because I did not want to bank on their 25th percentile score. Because yes, that still means there's a chance, right? Like there's the possibility you could get in and not be at their median score, but that was not something I felt comfortable banking on, and I just did not have faith in myself, to be honest. I didn't have faith in myself at the time that I was going to get in with the average score that I had. Even though my undergrad GPA was great, even though my resume to some people seemed, to be on point with a good law school applicant resume, I just didn't feel confident because I felt like the emphasis was so much on the score. So I had a big breakdown because I was just like, there's just no way that I can talk myself into applying to law school when this score is not in line with what I thought it should be. A lot of excuses, and I said, oh, the debt's too much, I don't think I should apply to law school yet. Oh, you know, if I take the time and apply again, maybe I'll get a better score and I'll get into some Ivy League schools. Like, I was just trying to make any excuse I could to not apply because I was so afraid of rejection and of failing. Like that, I was way more fearful of that than I was excited by the opportunity to possibly get into a school. I had to talk to a lot of people. I had to talk to family and friends. I had some friends who were going through the same experience with me at that time, so that helped me feel so much better, just knowing we were kind of struggling together. And I had to talk to my family and say, like, express my concerns. I was like, guys, I'm really nervous and I'm scared. And they were like, what is it gonna hurt to just apply? Like, just see if you can get in. Because it was really comforting in the sense that they were kind of explaining it to me in a way where it's like, it wasn't as, big of a deal as I was making it out to be, basically. I was blowing it out of proportion, and I knew that it was very simple. It was either apply now and not get in, and then apply again, or apply now and maybe get into a school that you wanted to go to, and then you don't have to worry about this process ever again. So needless to say, obviously, I did end up applying to the schools even after I got that second score back. This is the part where people seem to always be so interested in. When I tell them I'm applying to law school or that I have applied to law school and I'm going in the fall. But this was more specifically when I was in the middle of the process, and people were so interested in knowing, like,
what's your top choice and what kind of lawyer do you want to be?
And to those questions, I would always say, I don't know yet and I don't have a top choice. This whole part is primarily the reason why I wanted to make this video, because I felt that everyone thinks that the type of student or the type of person who applies to law school or graduate school, med school, whatever it might be, is they're just really type A people, okay? And yes, I might have some type A tendencies. So when people ask me that question and I give them those answers, they seem a little bit taken aback because I don't come up with a quick response, a definitive response, a response that sounds like I've really thought this out and I've planned this out and I've put it on my mood board and I've written it in sticky notes on my bathroom mirror. Like, they're like, oh, that's okay, like, that's cool. That's really cool that you're giving yourself options. And I say, I don't know what type of lawyer I want to be yet, because I don't know all of the industries that need legal services. I don't know all the different types of law. I just don't know yet. And I can't make an informed decision. I don't even know what's out there yet. So that's what I say to people when they ask me what type of lawyer I want to be. And then they ask me what is my top choice, and I say, I don't have a top choice. And they're like, well, everybody has a top choice when they apply to schools. And I was like, well, I genuinely, would be grateful to get into any school. Because remember, at that point, I was still not very confident that I was going to get into any school. So at that point, I was like, I will be grateful to get into any university that says,
hello, Rebecca Spraggins. Welcome to our university.
I was like, I'd be grateful. The reason was because I genuinely could, out of the list that I gave myself and that I thought out, I could genuinely see myself at any of those schools. I chose locations where I could see myself living in at least for a year, whether that be like for the 3 years of school and then at least a year or two afterwards, that I felt like I could see myself thriving in, see myself being successful in. So when I looked at the list of schools, there was nothing in me that felt I needed to rank them. So that's why I felt like it was so important for me to start this law school series, not because I feel like I'm going to be saying anything new about law school, about applying to law school, about the LSAT, but I do feel like I was going to be providing a different approach, because I do believe that the majority of students are not type A. And I think that that's what people think when they think of a law student or a law applicant, that you're just super anal about everything and that you know exactly what you want to do, which is exactly why you went to law school. And it's just not the truth. And I don't think that's the majority of us. I think that the majority of us do struggle with figuring out what kind of lawyer we want to be. I think the majority of us did struggle with figuring out how we were going to present ourselves as the best applicant to get into schools when we weren't well-roundedly stellar in all of the different application aspects. I believe that the average experience is actually what I experienced and the experience that is most broadcasted on YouTube and Instagram or wherever else people go for this information. Blog posts are students who did outline everything for themselves, are type A, and did know exactly what they wanted to do with their lives. So I just want to speak for those who are a little bit more in that gray area and need to figure things out for themselves and are just doing it day by day, one day at a time. Welcome to my channel, because this is what we're here for. We're here for the people who realize that they can't plan everything out, because the times that they've tried to do that, life has shown them, has humbled them, and taught them that you can't work life out that way. I've tried it, trust me. I tried to plan everything out the best way that I could so that it would be perfect and I would never fail and I would never stumble and there would never be an obstacle I couldn't overcome. And then I went through college and I realized that I have got to really let go of a lot of old ways of thinking and allow life to pan out the way it's going to pan out for me and to work around that. I gotta work with life here, okay? The last part of this video was going to be me explaining how I decided which school to attend at the end of all this. And I realized that this video is already going to be too long, so I'm not even going to get into that right now. I'm going to just save that for another video, maybe like the second or third video. I'm not sure yet, but I think I'm just going to save that because I really wanted this video to be an introduction about my whole, just for you to get an idea of my whole perspective and approach on applying to school and graduate school and just all that in general, because I think that's going to set the tone for the rest of the videos. For get you in my mind first, I'm trying to get you inside of here so that we can be on the same page for the rest of the videos and when I'm explaining myself and why I did things the way I did, so you're not just sitting there being like,
what's her goal here?
So that's why I wanted to make this introductory video, to just say like, this was my approach, this is how I got to this point today, and here is my mindset on it, so that you can understand that before you watch the rest of the videos and get more confused as to why I did things the way that I did. And I also hope you're getting something out of it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, like it, or dislike it if you don't think that my approach was right. Do whatever you feel like pleases your heart. Comment down below any questions that you have so that I could potentially answer them in the upcoming videos, or any comments or whatever is on your mind about this process if you're going through it, or if you're curious about something I said in this video. And always, please make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification button so that you don't miss the rest of the series, because I'm giving y'all the tea. I'm giving you guys the tea about what most of us are really going through when we're applying to graduate school, law school, whatever it might be, just figuring out adulthood and life. Like, I'm giving you guys the tea because the real truth is not everybody has this stuff figured out, okay? That's actually the tea. Life does not work that way. So I want to give you guys my authentic, my genuine experience. And if you appreciate that and you would like to see that, then subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's video. Bye guys.